Longing for a short getaway where you can be away from people but still be productive?
If you want to live by the ethos of work hard and play hard, you can. Come down here at Bidadari Island where you can learn a thing or two about the history, but also work remotely. See the beauty? Only on See Indonesia. Woo! See Indonesia.
Bidadari Island, or the Island of Angels, is one of many charming islands in Kepulauan Seribu National Park west of Jakarta Bay. It is located close to the capital of Indonesia. You can get on a speedboat from Marina Ancol Port. The journey will approximately take 30 minutes. Pulau Bidadari is 6 hectares wide and considered a small island. But size doesn't always matter, because apart from its natural beauty, the island has a historical site and well-developed resort facility for you to enjoy.
Right, before we're gonna explore this area, let me tell you a story about the Bidadari Island, or the Angels Island. So before they turned into a resort like this, Bidadari Island used to be called Pulau Sakit, or Sick Island, because the Dutch, they built a hospital for leprosy, for people with leprosy here. But not only that, this place is actually quite an important island for the Dutch, next to the other island like Onrost or Chipir. That's why they also built a fort, which we're going to check out later.
Here you can find a Martello fortress. Martello was an important structure in the 17th century, built by the Dutch East Indies to protect their soldiers against the British Army. The fortress foundation is made of boulder corals and bricks. Meanwhile, the walls were built using red and black bricks, as well as the andesite. The cement was made from a mixture made of limestone and sea sand. The circular-shaped fortress also served as a defensive structure where they put their heavy artillery.
And this remaining of the fort wasn't actually destroyed by the enemy ship or something like that. It was rather by nature, by the eruption of Krakatau Mountain in 1883, to be exact.
Today, the fort became the main attraction for visitors. Mr. Eko, the staff, is explaining details about the function of every room, which was discovered by the archaeology team. He said that the tsunami from Krakatau eruption has buried and washed away several important details of the building, like the mystery of the entrance to this fortress.
Perbedaan sama di Pulau Kelor, kalau Pulau Kelor itu ada ruangan tempat masuk gitu. Tapi ini sampai sekarang untuk meneliti belum bisa tembus, makanya dibikin pintu yang di atas itu bisa masuk ke dalam sini.
Then he took me to some kind of a bunker, or is it a tunnel? It's really dark though. He warned me not to bring flashlight because it might disturb the animals that live there. Ooh, should I be afraid?
Dalam benteng ini ada salah satu bunker. Nah, tapi sekarang di dalam ini difungsikan untuk sarang burung walet, juga ada lalat juga.
Oh, okay. No wonder the ammonia scent in this area is quite strong, because it's a house to so many bats apparently.
I'm not particularly brave, so I'm not going to enter that area. But hey, if you're a daredevil, you should definitely go in. Apart from bats or swallows, I heard this island is also a home for an endangered species. A mascot of Jakarta and the national emblem of Indonesia, the Brahminic kite, aka elang bondol.
Look at this Brahminic kite feather. Look how big the feather is. Wow, I gotta ask him. Pak, ini kan lihat ada bulu-bulu elang bondol nih kayaknya ya? Memang betul ya ada sarangnya ya?
Betul, sarangnya di atas dulu. Ada satu pasang, beranaknya masih kecil. Tapi nanti kalau udah besar bisa nyari makan sendiri. Pasti diusir dari pulau ini. Jadi di pulau ini tetap satu pasang aja, nggak ada yang lain.
Wow, Brahminic kites are such a strict parent. Not far from the fortress, Mr. Eko took me around to the left side of the island and walked along the coast of its white pristine beach to see an old gigantic tree. How come an old tree can become so popular?
Ah, look at that. That's the roots of a tree called a Java olive tree. Or here we call this pohon kepuh. But the people, this tree has become popular because people call this pohon jodoh. Because they believe that if you take a picture underneath this tree, you will get a soulmate or a partner or whatever you call it. But unfortunately, because this tree is quite old, I heard that it is estimated around 200 years old, it eventually died like this. But, you know, I hope romance is not dead, like the tree.
Well, the tree might be dead now, but the giant root can be a good background for a photo.
Down here, this is the mangrove.
Next to the tree, you can spot a mini mangrove forest. The length of this forest is 5,000 square meters. Planted back in the 90s, the area is filled with around 200 mangrove trees. Mangroves support sustainable coastal and marine ecosystems, protect nearby areas from tsunami and extreme weather events. The most common animal you can spot around the mangrove is monitor lizard. There are at least hundreds of monitor lizards roaming around Bidadari Island, not all together in one place, of course. Monitor lizards are quite shy, so they tend to hide from humans. So don't worry, the lizards are not as deadly as Komodo dragon, even though it looks like a smaller version of it. According to the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, most of the monitor lizard species fall in the category of least concerned, but the population is decreasing globally.
Another monitor lizard don't make a lot of sound because they're easily spooked. Look at that.
You can ride a bike around the island, but I prefer walking. It will take less than an hour to circle the island by foot. Now let's walk around the eco-resort area to check out the cottages. This eco-resort is managed by Pembangunan Jaya Ancol. There are 3 types of cottages here: the Pecinaan style, Betawi style, and modern Western style. Which one should I choose? They're all very Insta-worthy. When you at Bidadari Island, make sure you come to the island nearby called Onrust Island. Take a speedboat from Bidadari Island and you'll arrive within 10 minutes, or faster if the weather is clear. Now, prepare yourself for a spooky tour. Listening to the story of Onrust Island will give you the heebie-jeebies. The island measured about 3.5 square kilometers. In the beginning of the 17th century, Onrust was a part of the vacation site of Banten Sultanate. But after the Dutch East Indies Company took over, they changed the island into a ship repair workshop for more than 200 years. In 1972, Ali Sadikin, Jakarta governor at that time, declared the island as a heritage site.
So, this is the diorama of what Onrust Island used to look like in 1740. The name Onrust Island means no rest because this used to be the busiest dockyard or port at the time. And then it was built first in 1610, and then in 1615 they added a dockyard because the VOC voyage to Asia, especially to Indonesian archipelago, became more frequent at that time.
In 1848, the Dutch fortified the island with martello towers. Along with Onros, the Dutch also fortified the other islands, including Cipir, Bidadari, and Kelor.
But after so many attacks from Banten and England, not to mention a natural disaster that hits the island, so many buildings got destroyed and then got rebuilt again. That's why this island has different function throughout the time. And to know more about that, I have to ask Mr. Ridwan about this.
Nah, seperti ini pembangunan yang pernah mereka bangun pada tahun 1828. Fungsinya ditambah karena semakin padat ya bangunannya. Iya, karena difungsikan juga sebagai tempat militer mereka. Takut akan adanya serangan Inggris. Nah, terus juga dari tempat galangan kapal seperti ini tidak sama pada tahun 1740 karena galangan kapal mereka sudah modern, lebih canggih karena mereka 1828 sudah bisa merenovasi kapal yaitu dari mesin uap. James Cook pernah merenovasi kapalnya di Pulau Undus. Nah, kata James Cook ini adalah bengkel kapal atau galangan kapal yang terbaik di seluruh dunia di kala itu.
Then the Krakatau erupted in 1883, destroying the buildings on the island again. In 1911 to 1933, Onrust Island was turned into a quarantine facility for pilgrims who just returned from Hajj. This facility was used to monitor the pilgrims, ensure they were free from any contagious diseases as well as malaria.
Nah, fasilitas yang mereka sudah bangun di masa haji antara lain rumah sakit pernah dibangun di Pulau Undus dan juga di Pulau Cipir, terus juga public housing, toilet umum, dan lain-lainnya.
The Dutch built 35 barracks. One barrack can accommodate 100 people, which means in total the island used to be able to quarantine around 3,500 people. Ridwan then took me outside to walk between all the rubbles and show me the glimpse of what the building used to be, such as the public washing area for laundry, bathrooms, toilet, and more. The Hajj quarantine facility became a lucrative business venture for the Dutch. At the time, a pilgrim must pay 110 gulden to stay here.
Kalau ini apa ini, Pak?
Nah, ini penjara, Mbak.
Okay, I guess it makes sense. So the location of the Onrus Island itself is quite isolated from the mainland and it is surrounded by the sea. So I guess it's quite strategic to put people in prison.
This prison is related to a scandal called the Zeven Provinciën Mutiny. HNLMS, the Zeven Provinciën, was a Royal Netherlands Navy coastal cruiser-sized warship. A mutiny broke out on February the 5th, 1933. Some Dutch and Indonesian crews seized control of the ship, keeping it in operation and sailing it southwards along the Sumatran coast. The mutiny is a form of protest caused by pay cuts and bad working conditions, as well as poor morale among the Dutch Royal Navy at that time. The Dutch Defense Minister Laurentius Nicolaas Dekker authorized an attack using military aircraft. At 19:18 a.m., a 50-kilogram bomb struck the ship, killing 23 mutineers, prompted the other to immediately surrender. The remaining people were then imprisoned here on Onrust Island.
Pas haji 1933, akhirnya haji itu dipindahkan ke Tanjung Priok. Nah, terus juga ada terjadinya ya skandal dari Zeven Province. Ya berdekatan dengan peristiwa haji dan juga diisi oleh Zeven Province.
There's even a mannequin to illustrate how the prisoner were treated. How unnerving. Meanwhile, during World War II, after Germany occupied the Netherlands, the Dutch East Indies imprisoned thousands of Germans and other European descent with German family name here and in Ngawa. And when Japan took over Indonesia, the Japanese also used Onrust as a prison for criminals and political figures.
Nah, ini bangunan ini lebih populer di masa Jepang. Karena Jepang tahun 1940 sudah menguasai Pulau Undus. Nah, jadi ini sistem gladiatornya, di mana untuk mengurangi para tahanan, mereka diadu sampai mati di sini.
Okay, so jadi memang banyak yang meninggal gitu di pit ini. Okay. I think I don't want to sit down here anymore. Let's go there.
If that wasn't creepy enough, Mr. Ridwan took me to a Dutch cemetery. Nice, I'll have nightmare tonight. There's probably around 50 graveyards here, but most of them were destroyed. As you can see, a few of them survived. Many people died of malaria at that time. Up until about the year 1880, nobody knew that the mosquitoes inhabiting the swamps transmitted the virus to humans. The most popular one here is the grave of Maria van de Velde, because of the poem written on her headstone. This mysterious woman was thought to be the daughter of VOC commander Cornelis Wilms Vogel, that was also buried here. She passed away in 1781 at 28 years old. Many believe she took her own life because she cannot marry her lover. Could that be true? Would someone really die for love? Whether you're romantic or not, Onrust Island is a fantastic place for history buffs. Thank God I did not have any nightmares. I slept like a baby last night in the cabin. The sun is quite bright today. Perhaps I should go for a swim later. But first, let's have breakfast.
Voila, breakfast at your door. And as you can see, it's all still sealed in plastic. So I hope it's clean that way. There goes omelette, sausages, that's very fine with me. And let's have some coffee first. Anyway, this cottage I rented, this is the western cluster named Gandaria. It has 2 bedrooms on upstairs and then downstairs, and it also has 2 bathrooms. What I love the most about this one, the reason why I choose this one is because it overlooks directly to the beach. I can get a nice view, especially if you like sleep upstairs.
Oh, now I just remember that I have a virtual meeting scheduled.
Yeah, I hope everything turned out just fine.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good luck. Bye. Welcome to my office.
The infinity pool awaits me, but I still have one more emergency meeting.
Something unexpectedly turned up in the office? Don't be panicked. You can work remotely too.
Yep, the internet connection here is very good. The one thing I forgot to do is wear something more meeting appropriate. They should understand. It's an emergency.
And then on the 28th, you need to go again to West Java because we have 2 episodes there in Pangalengan.
Okay then. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Work is done. I'm not ready for the water yet. I want to lay around on the floaties and rest my mind for a bit. Forget about your bills. No, just kidding. Pay your bills. Forget about your unread emails. Forget about those TV series you downloaded but never watch. Forget about those embarrassing moments that people have probably forgotten about. Just be in the moment, smell the fresh air, and cherish the day. As my mind feels more at ease, let's work on the body.
The water is so cold. And now I feel like I'm hungry again.
I I must resist the urge for snacking and keep swimming. The pools here aren't that deep, actually, very child-friendly and fantastic for fun swim. The view though from here is quite something. I don't want to do any rigorous activities today. The sea waves look pretty strong for water sport activities. Bring a good book and play an instrumental jazz if you like. Let the music take your worries away. Because losing yourself in a book is the ultimate relaxation. More than just for entertainment, if you want to relax the mind and soul, reading books can improve your focus, memory, and empathy. It can also reduce stress and improve mental health. Another thing you can try to release stress is listening to music and dance like no one's watching. But be sure to listen to happy music. Great music always put me in a good mood. Finally, dinner time. Don't pass up the opportunity to enjoy dinner at this restaurant next to the pool. For this special occasion, I'm going to dress up.
I just want to say thank you for all this lovely dinner. And with a city light like that, it's really romantic. I see that you're really good at picking up the place.
Fantasize all you want, that's the perk of dining alone, really. Tonight's menu is fish and chips with sambal mata. They also added prawns and extra vegetables, just how I like it.
Let's try this fish and chips with sambal mata. Ooh, the wind blows really hard, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear it, but it's crispy. It's soft on the inside. And this fish is really fresh. I can taste it.
The prawns are also still very juicy and not overly cooked. Everything is so tasty, I suddenly forgot my table manner. Thank God I dine alone.
What should we do after this? Are you thinking karaoke? I do too. Let's try it.
Of course, the last stage of this mind decluttering journey is through singing. The Eco Resort is equipped with large karaoke room and completed with plethora of songs. From disco, angry song, more current breakup anthem, classic, or something more My staycation experience in Bidadari Island has been super fun. I learned a lot about the past and I've learned how to live in the moment and refresh my body and soul.